Hello and welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture we start our discussion on how to build this topology on GNS3. Now remember from the previous lectures that we have talked about port 3 and port 4 as being very important as they relate to basically the HA heartbeat packets sent from one FortiGate to another. Now we have two options when talking about what images to use for FortiGate firewalls, and the first one is the KVM or QEMU that you will learn more about in the GNS3 free course, and the second one is using VMware, so VMware images, VMware VM images. When choosing between these two, you would see that basically in the first option, the KVM, QEMU, everything is working but the cluster formation. And this is because on port 3 and port 4, it sends a specific type of traffic that is not destined for the other FortiGate. It's just pushed on the wire, and any FortiGate that's listening to that traffic, meaning that these ports are working in promiscuous. So listening to traffic and understanding the traffic that it's not destined for myself, for this firewall on this example. Well, if this fails, then the cluster, the HA cluster, will not form. And for this reason, we are going to use the second option, so the VMware VMs, and you will see basically in a moment why this option works. So in order to do this, we first have to download the VMware VMs, and you can do it by logging into the Fortinet customer service and support portal if you're working for a reseller or authorized distributor, any of those. So going to download and firmware images, then we will move on to, okay, so FortiGate is fine, we'll move on to download, to the specific versioning, and let's go for the last one. 5.6 looks fine, 3.0 it doesn't matter, there are minor releases. And now I will search in the browser for VM. So many of them, go, and this is the one, VMX, KVM, so AWS, Amazon, Hyper-V, KVM. These are the images if you're running QEMU KVM images. And yeah, Fortinet OS, FGT, this is the one. So FortiGate VM64 out.ovf, so to download basically the OVF template. So click on HTTPS, and then the download starts. After you have the download successful, then you will move on to the VMware workstation in order to deploy these specific VMs. And let's see how you do that. First of all, let me check yes, here it is. So extract all, or I have it already. Yeah, I have it here. So extract the FGT VM64 archive, and let's go now to file. You know what? We will not import it. We'll just double click it. So FortiGate VM64, double click it, and let's see if something happens. Yes, I accept the terms of the license agreement and click next. I will now provide a naming for this specific virtual machine, and I will name it FGT, or let's say FortiGate-1, and import. Now all the information in the OVF template is being imported. And I am provided now a lot of interfaces as per the OVF template. The difference between the KVM installation and the VMware virtual machine installation is that for this specific NIC cards, I can provide VMnets bridging. So instead of running the default one, I can go on to, let's say, first network adapter corresponds to port 1. So I will say custom specific virtual network, and let me choose VMnet 9 For port 2, I will use VMnet 10. For port 3 and 4, remember, so port 3 and 4 that are used for HA, I will use 9, 10, let's say 11. And 12. And that's it. I will not do anything for the rest of the network adapters or NIC cards, because as you can see in the topology, I'm only using 4 ports, and this is the way it should be, at least. So I'll now click OK. Now normally you would think that deploying a virtual machine it's enough because you can clone it, but at the moment it's not working in GNS3. So basically I have to deploy again another FortiGate appliance. So I would have 2. So I again double click it. I accept the terms of the license agreement and click next. I'll name it again FortiGate-2 and click import. Now it's done, and I will now edit virtual machine settings. And for the first NIC card, meaning port 1 on FortiGate 2, so we said, let's see, we said 9, 10, 11, 12. I would say VMnet 13. Move to the next one. 14, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Move to port 3. Port 3 has to match the same VMnet like the first one. It was 11. This is the magic. VMnets are virtual NIC cards created by VMware Workstation on this specific PC. And you will learn more about this information in the free course, the GNS3 free course, in the Windows VM machine integration into the GNS3. So that's why I highly advise you to enroll and go through that course, free course again. Now the fourth port, corresponding to port 4 on the FortiGate, I will again go for 12. So VMnet 11 and VMnet 12 are the same on the 2, and this way traffic will reach the other FortiGate and the cluster, as you will see, will form. I'll now click OK. The next thing we have to do is go on to the GNS3 software and basically make these FortiGate VM appliances available in GNS3 software so that they can be used there. So I now click on the GNS3, I launch it, and let's say the name of the project would be implement. So the GNS3 VM XAS course, it's starting now. So I will minimize it. Let's say implement HA with FortiGate firewalls, and I will click OK. Now if you click on this browse and devices, you will see FGT 1 and 2 available here because I have done some testing before, so it's obvious. I'll now delete these templates so that you can see exactly how it's done. So delete first and delete second, and I will select browse all devices in order to see all of the devices available in my list. So now let's click new appliance template, and I will now add a VMware virtual machine. Click OK, and I will be asked basically, so run this VMware VM on my local computer, and I will be asked which one I would like to import. So let's say FortiGate 1 and click finish. Now I can see it here in my list. So very important, you navigate to the network tab and click allow GNS3 to override non-custom VMware adapter. So meaning that the VMware workstation in this case will override whatever the VM wants to do in terms of networking and allocate that specific VM that you've seen me doing it earlier, and click OK. Now apply, OK, and I can now see in the browse all devices let's see, FortiGate-1 VM available to be used in the topology. Let's also add another one, meaning FortiGate-2. So again, add a VMware virtual machine, click OK. Then run this VMware VM on my local computer. I will select the second one, FortiGate-2, finish. And navigate to Edit. Go on to the Network tab and select Allow GNS3 to override non-custom VMware adapter. Click OK, Apply, and then OK. And we're done with the integration of the FortiGate 1 and 2 VMs into GNS3. So join me for part 2 where we will build the actual GNS3 topology. Thank you.